Hi, this is Anirudh, and today we'll be doing sums on the magnetic effects of current as a part of magnetism. Please do follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram channels for your daily dose of math and physics. Let's get started with our JEE problems. So first question says that a certain current on passing through a galvanometer produces a deflection of 100 divisions. When a shunt of 1 ohm is connected, the deflection reduces to 1 division, then the galvanometer resistance is. So if the current is dropping in the galvanometer, then we can understand that the net shunt that you put in should be connected in parallel to the galvanometer. So say this is the galvanometer with a resistance of Rg, and you put the shunt of resistance 1 ohm coming in. Now the current coming in, suppose, is I. Now originally the I current produced 100 divisions in it. So now if it is producing only one division, so the current that comes in is equal to 0.01 into I. Now we know that in a parallel circuit, whenever you are branching of a current, then the current through any single branch is given by this formula, that current in branch 1 is equal to the resistance in branch 2 divided by the sum of the resistances into the main current. So if we put that formula with the values given here, the branched current which we want here is 0.01 I. The R2 is the other resistance, that is 1 ohm in our case, and the sum of the resistance is 1 plus Rg. That multiplied with the main current which was coming in as I. You can cancel out the i's on each side. Cross multiply this, you have 0.01 plus 0.01 Rg is equal to 1, or 0.01 Rg is equal to 1 minus 0.01. This I sent over to this side, or Rg is equal to 0.99 divided by 0.01. Cancel the out, so you have 99 ohms. So the correct option is option number 1. Let's move on to the next one. For our second sum, it says that you have two semicircular wires and two straight wires, and you need to find the magnetic field at the central point. We know that for a circular loop, the magnetic formula is B is equal to mu naught I divided by 2R. If it's a semicircle, the magnetic field formula is mu naught I divided by 4R. So let's find the magnetic field for the first wire. Say this is 1. So B1 would be equal to mu naught I divided by 4R1. And for the larger circle, it would be B2 is mu naught I divided by 4R2. AB and CD will contribute nothing to the magnetic field at this point, because this point falls in the line of this wire, AB and CD both. So AB, CD contribute nothing. We only get contributions from the curved parts of the wire, which we have written out here. Now if we use our right hand thumb rule, we see that the inner radius creates a magnetic field downwards, and the outer radius creates a magnetic field upwards. So you have two opposing magnetic fields. These magnetic fields are opposing each other. So the net magnetic field that we get would be equal to B1 minus B2. You put the values in, mu naught I divided by 4R1 minus mu naught I divided by 4R2. Mu naught I by 4 I can take out as common. So you get mu naught I divided by 4, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So our correct option is option number 4. Let's move on to the next one. For our third sum, we have a classical sum of a helical path of a charged particle. It says that a particle of specific charge 3 coulomb per kg enters the region of magnetic field of strength 4 Tesla with a velocity 150 meter per second, making an angle of 60 degree with the direction of magnetic field. The pitch of the helical path it would describe is. Now we know that whenever a charged particle enters the region of magnetic field at an angle, then it will trace out a helical path like this. Pitch refers to the distance over here, the pitch of the helix. So to find that, the first thing we need to find is the time period of oscillations in this circular path. The formula for that is 2 pi m divided by qb, which we know for any cyclotron time period. Q by m is given to you, we put the remaining values in. The time period is 2 pi divided by the charge per the specific charge is given as 3 coulomb into your B is given as 4 Tesla. So you have 2 pi by 12 as your time period. Now this pitch occurs because the velocity has a component in this direction as well, and that component is given by v cos theta. So this direction has a component v cos theta. So in this time interval, we just need to find how much distance the particle would move in that direction. So the pitch of the helix is this time period into v of cos theta. We put those quantities in. The time period is 2 pi divided by 12. V is given as 150 meter per second. So 150 into cos of 60 degree. Cos of 60 degree we know is half. Cancels these out. 12 goes with this and it would give you 12.5. So final answer is 12.5 pi. That is the fourth option. Next day we'll be doing more sums on magnetic properties of matter. Stay tuned for that video. Like, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel Mathify for your daily dose of math and physics.